Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV here at the Precious Metal Summit in Zurich. And day one is now coming to an end. But last but not least, we have MAG Silver here with George Paspalas, the CEO. George, great to see you here again.
Jochen, good to see you as well. And good to know that you kept the best till last.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is what it is. And I'm a shareholder of the company. I want to say that also. And yeah, I can only say congratulations, because what you guys achieved the last years, especially this year, now you're at full production, commercial production. Things are running well. You just brought out again good numbers, making money. You must be happy.
Extraordinarily happy until I look at the share price.
Well, and that's a nightmare for everybody.
I know. And, you know, we're very satisfied in MAG now. We've filled up all of the holes in the working capital situation in Juanicipio. We've got over $100 million of working capital at the asset level now. So now we're free to start to bring free cash flow back to the galactic headquarters in Vancouver. And that's going to start to enable us to accumulate cash on the balance sheet. Make us strong, right, robust going forward, and then we'll start to make decisions about capital allocation. We've got two very exciting exploration programs, exploration projects, one in Utah, Deer Trail, and one in Ontario. But, you know, a big, I think, part of the future value creation in MAG is everyone's focused on Juanicipio, high grades, great margins, like less than $10 all-in sustaining cash costs. The potential for that to come down as we get more steady state operation and actually start to focus on cost control. We've only explored 5% of that property.
That's it, yeah.
It is an amazing exploration story, right where we've got a plant built, right where we're running a mine. And so exploration at Juanicipio, exploration at Deer Trail and Larder are going to be the growth drivers for us in the future.
Absolutely. And not to forget, because I think this is also something what a lot of people forget, you will really make real money because you have no bank debt.
Correct.
You have nothing to repay.
Correct.
You can start maybe within 12 months to pay dividends.
Well, let's hope, right? That's sort of the objective. We want to make sure we get our balance sheet to a situation where we've got a good line of sight for the next 3 or 5 years in terms of our business model, what we need to do. The business model is the Juanicipio cash flow, funds that exploration. We're a small company, like 12 employees in our corporate office. So it's not a huge G&A burn rate. We've got flow-through funding already secured for Larder to the end of 2024. Right, that's a 17,000 metre program we're going to do.
70.
No, 117. 17. That's an Aussie accent. And then, you know, we expect to be able to get that balance sheet robust, and then we start to look, we've got good shareholders, we've got loyal shareholders. Let's see how we look after those while we're running the business.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's come a bit more specific to the production side, because I think this is the key for me for longer term success. As you said, you can finance the exploration out of that. So that means no more dilution for the shareholders.
Correct.
So we were talking by now mostly about silver, a little bit of gold. I know you have some zinc, some lead. What's going on with the copper side? Where do you see this emerging? Also the base metals, because as far as I remember from several presentations in Toronto during the PDAC, which we were filming all the time, I remember that the base metals will play maybe a more important role than you thought in the beginning.
Sure. So in all of these systems, epithermal systems, in Mexico in particular, the silver grade is highest at the top. And then as you mine down and get deeper, the silver grade starts to go down. So you see, like last quarter, we returned 523 grams per tonne of silver. Extraordinary high grade. When I say it goes down, the lower levels of the mine, it's still 200.
Yeah, it's still beautiful.
220.
Yeah.
The average grade in the silver industry is less than 150 grams per tonne. So the context of low grade at Juanicipio is it's 50% more than the average grade of the silver industry when we get to the low grade silver. You said a little bit of gold. we make almost 50,000 ounces of gold a year.
Beautiful.
So it's significant, right?
Exactly.
That continues for the life of that mineralisation.
Mm-hmm.
But as you go down and that silver grade starts to trim off,
Mm-hmm.
the base metals pick up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd say 5, 6 years' time, we will start to approximate 50, 60% of our revenue from silver, 10 from gold, and base metals picking up. Like currently we're 75% from silver, 10% from gold, base metals 10%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one vein, that's the main vein. Now what we've found as we drilled the deep zone, and we had to move the drill rigs out, which means we're drilling new country that we hadn't drilled before to get deeper, we found more veins.
Whoa, okay.
Right? And so we now have 5 of these parallel structures that have high-grade silver at the top. And so, you know, Fresnillo and us are now working together on what's the most optimal mine plan here. And always, earlier cash flow is better.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
That's for sure.
And so maybe that, if you look at just Valdecanes, that silver grade tapering down, maybe we can plateau that out a bit, mining these other structures. So I think inherently, the silver grade will go down, the base metals come up. It's still a very high margin mine. But we can maybe prolong a high grade profile by mining these other structures concurrently, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's wonderful.
Okay, super. So where do you see the production next year? So meaning how many ounces silver? You just said 50,000 ounces gold. What is your feeling?
So you're trying to jump the gun on me on guidance, which I'm not going to give you. Okay, we're currently with Fresnillo. Yeah. We're working on the budget and the mine plan for next year. So come early next year, we'll issue guidance on that sort of on production costs, capital, etc. But if you take a look at our historical production, let's say Q2 is a little skewed on the high side. Right? We made 5.8 million ounces in Q2, but we were running Juanicipio up and we were running the Cecito and Fresnillo mine. So we had additional tons that we don't normally have. Last month, we were like 4.8. So I think, you know, moving forward, if you were to take last quarter's production, give yourself a little bit of contingency, multiply it by 4, production number's probably somewhere around there.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, oh, it's great. It's great.
Yeah, because it means also that the costs will go further down. So you will be closer, I would say, maybe to $9 AIC than at 10.
Yeah.
That's my feeling.
Yeah.
And also on the other side, I see, honestly, next year more starting the real commodity bull cycle. Because what I see is a lot of metals parallel are coming into physical deficit.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, last year in silver was crazy. 238 million ounce silver deficit, right? That's almost 30% of the market in deficit. And the silver price went down 14%.
Yeah. Why is that? Can you explain that to me? Because nobody can explain it. I don't get it.
I wouldn't be standing here if I could explain it.
Okay.
I'd be rich laying on the beach. But institutional investors are totally apathetic about metal prices at the moment. And so there's no interest in the metal price. But we need the metal.
Yeah, otherwise you cannot build anything.
And demand is forecast in the silver space to continue to increase. Supply is going to increase maybe 3-4% a year. Demand's going to increase far in excess of that. Look, I'm not an economist, but if you are using more than you're making, at some point in time, right? Yeah. And I think it's when people go to the silver vaults to get some metal and they open the door and the cupboard's bare, that's when the price may
maybe they find onions. Because
onions.
They cry.
And potatoes.
Exactly. No, it looks like that, really. No, I mean, if you go to LBMA, it was 1.4 billion ounces silver. Now it's down to 750 million. And what people forget is those are ounces which are already owned by somebody. Correct. This is not available.
Correct. So here's the fundamentals of economics. And what all those indicators do is move the price of the commodity up. Hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
Look out when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a good ride to be on.
Yeah, this is why I said silver is the next uranium.
I love it, mate.
Yeah.
I won't argue on that.
Because it's the same market.
For sure.
It's the same thing, definitely.
Yeah.
Super. Then for next year, what is the plan on your 2 exploration projects in US and Canada?
At Larder, we raised $23 million Canadian at the end of January, early February this year. We were in a technical review phase, and we've come up with some really good findings. We've got some very good geological models now, and in July we started drilling, and we've actually just brought the second rig on. So between now and the end of 2024, we will spend that 23 million Canadian. We will drill about 17,000 meters of drilling, and we hope that that's going to give us a significant gold discovery in that area. At Utah, we're probably going to spend around 10 million US. We've just started phase 4 of the drilling. Every hole that we've drilled at Deer Trail has got mineralisation. To use the phrase in the industry, every hole is full of smoke. Our next step is to find the fire, and it's there. It's a matter of time. And so, you know, we're very deliberate in the way we conduct our exploration. Right? We drill a hole, we analyse it, we get that technical understanding in concert with what we've learned from the previous holes. We go back to our geological model, we truth that up for what we just learned, and then we go, where do we go next? And we start to vector in, and at some time we're going to hit substantial mineralisation.
Fantastic. Love it.
Can't
Good
wait.
game plan, I would say.
Simple game plan.
Yeah,
They're the
exactly.
best, right?
Yeah. Just execute, please.
That's it. Oh, yeah. We will.
Super. George, thank you very much.
Pleasure, Rocky.
Let's go for the Zurich Invest night.
Yep.
You will be on the panel with me.
For sure.
We're going to have big fun. And
Lots of fun.
wish you all the best. Merry Christmas.
Same to you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was George Paspalas, the CEO of MAG Silver, and you had it. Everything is in perfect shape. Only 5%, please don't forget, 5% of Juanicipio are just in the making. And the production is on steady state. It is commercial production. They are really making the best out of it. And from next year on, they really have the positive cash flow. They have prepared everything now, $100 million in working capital there. That is fantastic, and probably in maybe 2025, then we will see the first dividend. I hope so. I'm a shareholder. You should be too. Check it out. MAG Silver is definitely way too cheap. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Zurich.